Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another Pokemon trading card game video. Formerly called Road to the Regionals. It's still technically Road to the Regionals, but there won't be any this season. More on that in a second. First of all, sorry if I sound and look like crap. That's because I sound and look like crap. I'm still dealing with like illnesses from like whatever COVID let in. Basically, it's been a bit of a nightmare. You don't need my pity story. You don't need my pity story right now. Anyway, Road to the Regionals, episode 4, 5, don't know. I literally put on my notebook, I always put my notes down, Road to the Regionals 5, question mark, even though we don't call it Road to the Regionals. And we don't know what episode we're on. Could have checked, but that would be professional, and I'm not known for being that. So, opening first of all, I've already mentioned it, but basically, there's going to be no regionals being played this year, this season, whatever you want to call it. Funny enough, I had a conversation with Murdo about this.
I'm Murdo.
He mentioned that regionals often happen in like 2 waves in a year, if that makes sense. So I think there's like spring, summer regionals, then autumn, winter regionals. I've not really been paying that much attention to what's gone on previously. I'm only going on like what I know as of after COVID years, if that makes sense. So yeah, basically, we're not going to be doing any regionals this year. So we've got no worries about that, which is good really, because it's been over 2 months now and my passport still hasn't arrived. I still have no more information on it. I still have no idea what's going on with my passport. All I know is it's being processed and it has been for over a month now, so that's pretty great. Anyway, so yeah, no regionals this year. However, doesn't mean we're not going to be attending anything at all. Actually, I've already done one pre-release. I did another pre-release this past weekend. This weekend, technically, I'm recording. More on that in a sec. But we got the World Championships in London this year, which I don't know the last time we had the World Championships in the UK. Good timing for me, though, you know, to get into competitive Pokemon trading card game and then immediately get to potentially go to a World Championships. That's pretty cool. It's happening in August, I know that much, and it's a 4-day weekend, or 4-day event, which I've got 2 days of holiday left for work, so I think I might be saving them for that. But yeah, spectator tickets haven't been announced yet, so we have no idea on prices or anything like that, but if all goes to plan, that's something we could be attending and live vlogging from, so at least there'll be some form of like, this is what the competitive, high-level atmosphere is like, but at least learn that for ourselves. So in other Pokemon news, as just mentioned, I did do a pre-release this weekend for Astral Radiance. Didn't do brilliantly. I will blame my matchups for that. Not me. It's not a skill issue. I'm good at the game. No, I'm kidding. I'm average at best, probably. Basically, I got the Magnezone deck, which is fine. I definitely made it work in like some interesting ways. We got the 40 card deck from the Golden Battle, which contained, I think it was 2 or 3 boosters. I think there's 2 boosters in the Build and Battle box. No, 3 in the Build and Battle box, sorry. And then we got 2 extras on top of that as well. Some alright pulls this time. If you saw my last video on the pre-release, I pulled nothing in 8 boosters from Brilliant Stars. They were all, you know, white codes as they call them. Absolutely nothing. This time round, we got a Rainbow Rare Hisuian Typhlosion V-Star, which obviously I couldn't use. Hisuian Lilligant V, which I actually put into my Steel deck because it has a really good attack, actually. For no energy, it basically gives you a Crobat V. Lets you fill up your hand to 6. Granted, it ends your turn, but early days, it worked out really well. The first match I had, actually, I used it to like great effect on both rounds. But yeah, that was pretty good. Hollow Absol, which is a pretty nice card, though I didn't really use it in my deck. I didn't have like the support for it really. And a Trainer Gallery Frostmoth as well. So yeah, some nice pulls from it. I get the feeling, much like Brilliant Stars, because of the Trainer Gallery, this whole set is going to look a lot nicer than it has any right to be. Because, you know, after a while, especially, you know, when you're into the 60s, 70s of opening boosters, even the reverse holo starts to lose its charm a little bit, so the fact that it can be replaced with like a Trainer Gallery card is like a really cool thing to me. Anyway, onto the matches. So, again, I went with Magnezone for my promo. I didn't go with it, that was forced upon me. I'll probably put like a quick breakdown of my deck in here. I definitely saw ways to improve it after seeing other people play, but I was basically never going to do well because I didn't really have like a proper playable V or V-Star. First match I had was alright, to be fair. I won it 2-0. And then the second match was an absolute nightmare, because the guy got Zacian V, the Trainer Gallery one, which, in my opinion, is a questionable thing to be allowed to play in a pre-release. I know it's technically part of the set, but it isn't part, you know what I mean? It's definitely scrub quotes talking here. It's like, Trainer Gallery shouldn't count, but unfortunately it does, so that sucks for me. I actually had like an amazing round 1. He only got a Magnemite out. I fortunately managed to get a Bravery out almost straight away. Turn 2, I had a Bravery. Bravery has a no energy cost attack, which does 30 damage times the amount of energy on the opposing Pokemon. They had a Magnemite with 2 energy on it, 60 HP, immediate knockout. No Pokemon on the bench, round 1 straight to me. But after that, Zacian destroyed me, so that was annoying. Match 3 was against a Psychic deck, which basically, because I had no major ways to clear anything easily, I had no switches, I had nothing, I got my arse handed to me by a Confusion attack. Just one Confusion attack, and it just destroyed me. It was embarrassing. It was so annoying. I was like, cool, coin flip, yep, nope, coin flip, yep, nope. The coins don't love me. And then my final match was against a Hisuian Samurott deck, which played Starmie V. Starmie V has an attack for 2 energy cost that does 50 damage times all the energy on the opposing side's Pokemon. So you can imagine how quickly that took out no Pokemon other than basics. It was just destruction. It's one of the things I did want to talk about. It might be a different video to this, but Astral Radiance, I wasn't all that excited about a lot of what was going on with Astral Radiance. I kind of looked down the list, quick scan, and I was like, it's fine, it's alright. Starmie V is an interesting one, because if you choose to power up 2 Pokemon, for example, that have 3 energy cost, that's 6 energy on the board, that's Starmie before anything else is hitting for 300 damage. I think that's going to be an interesting card. I think I can see people playing Starmie V with Arceus. I can see potentially Starmie with Palkia. I think it's going to be one of the more used cards. I'm no expert on this stuff. This is just a gut feeling thing for me. But I think Starmie V is going to be one of the big stars. And also the Hisuian cards. I'm not so sure about Decidueye, but both Samurott V-Star and Typhlosion V-Star have like attacks and abilities that make you go, you know what? If I can make that work, that'd look really cool. I'll hopefully have these alongside me talking about them and showing you guys what they actually look like and things. But yeah, again, I'm not, even though I've been playing for a few months now, I'm not really that dialed into what's going on. For me, I look at things and think of it in face value and go, okay, that's good, that isn't. But as soon as I talk to anybody else, i.e. Murdo or, 2 or 3 other people that I know are really good at the game, they're like, yeah, but have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? And I'm like, no. I forgot that card existed from another set. So, yeah, I think there's going to be some interesting cards coming out of it. But yeah, that's Astral Radiance coming out on the 27th. And for that, we're going to be doing a booster box break stream on Saturday the 28th of May. Probably about 7 PM usual stream time. We're going to do a booster box break. We're going to do an ETB and maybe a Pokemon Center ETB as well if it shows up. So we could have up to 52 boosters to open, I think. So yeah, feel free to join us for that. Twitch.tv/Jerstertainment. Got to get the plug in. 28th of May, 2022. So if you're watching this in 2023, you missed out. I'm sorry. There's probably a new one on there by now. Speaking of new sets, they've also revealed the Pokemon GO set and quite a few bits to go with it as well. I've already pre-ordered one of every item with my guy in Stafford, so yeah, I'm going to be spending a lot of money in July. Don't tell the girlfriend. But yeah, that's coming out. It's going to be another set where there's no, individual boosters and stuff like that, so you kind of have to buy the products. Have to. But yeah, it's only a small set, so, we'll get it complete. Be fine. It'll be fine. Nothing too exciting from that set either so far. I think we've got a couple of trainer cards that could be interesting. Mewtwo V-Star is an interesting card to me. I've already had a couple of people I know kind of poo-poo it to some degree, based on like how much damage it's going to be doing with its is it V-Star Raid ability or something like that? Or Psy Raid ability? I forget what it is. Exactly. Star Raid? Raid Star. Anyway, it'd be on the screen. Yeah, I think there's some interesting looking cards in there, but one of the most fun things that's going to be happening is a ridiculous new Ditto gimmick. There's a Ditto card in there, and the way you find these Ditto cards isn't necessarily, oh, I pulled this card and it's a Ditto. You pull a card, and you look at the regulation mark, as in the DEF that we currently have on the cards, and if it's a Ditto, that is actually a sticker that you then peel off, and the Ditto is underneath, which I think is amazing, for one of 2 reasons. 1, cool gimmick, very interesting gimmick indeed. 2, that is going to be a nightmare for collectors. Can you imagine if it... So we don't know exactly how it's going to work. Presumably, you're not going to have any card in the set be a Ditto card. For example, you're not going to pull a Rainbow Rare Mewtwo V-Star and go, also, there's a Ditto. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be very limited to certain cards, as, you know, if you play Pokemon Go, only certain few common Pokemon can be Dittos. Bidoof was the example, so I think it's going to be, you know, base stuff like that. But I'm thinking from a collection standpoint, like, we've already got 80-odd cards, plus whatever secret rare is going to happen. So for argument's sake, let's call it 100. If you then have... A lot of people do master sets for collection, so you have, like, your normal card, your reverse holo, and if it's got a holo rare, it's a holo rare. Imagine then you've got to do a Ditto version of that. So it's the Ditto, the covered sticker, and then you got the Ditto mark. It's like, cool, got that. Oh, it's also in reverse holo. Oh, it's also, this one's in hot. It's just going to be like a string of like 6 Bidoofs in a line. Just like 3 of them with Ditto marks, 3 of them as normal. I think it's going to be really cool. Also, one of my absolute favorites cards from this set, not because it's going to be any kind of really playable, but it's an absolute middle finger to Durant Mildex, because we have no respect for Durant Mildex. It's Bibarel. It has an ability which, to summarize it, is like, yeah, basically, if they tell you to discard a card, tell them to go F themselves. It's like really cool. I'm like, brilliant. I know, it's reassuring. Damn, it's cool. It's amazing. Speaking of ability moves, by the way, back to Astral Radiance. I've obviously seen some of the cards now. I don't want to spoil it for too many people. But the translation for the Sudowoodo ability, where it has no retreat cost if it has any damage on it, was called Skedaddle. And I was like, that is amazing. I love it so much. They changed it. And I've already forgotten what it was. I'll show you on screen, but yeah, they changed it, and I was like, oh, it's called Vamoose now, and I'm like, it's still quite funny, but I would love to be able to just say, due to the ability Skedaddle, my Sudowoodo is now retreating for free. I just find that hilarious. I'm easily amused, as you can tell. So, more regional results have come through as well, and I don't think we talked about the internationals, and there may have been 1 or 2 others before that I haven't talked about, but if I've forgotten them, I've forgotten them. I'm not going to worry about going back to them. I've got a list of the results on the other side here, so I will talk about those in just a second. But first of all, currently on recording, is it Lily? The Lille regionals are still ongoing, so whatever the result is, I'm going to insert it kind of like at the end of reading off the rest of these results. Fortunately for me, great timing, one of them just finished, which was Perth. Perth is finished as of recording this, so I do have the results for that as well. So, yeah, it's an interesting track record, and I think you'll spot a common denominator pretty quickly. So, in the internationals in Germany, the winning deck was a Rapid Strike Urshifu / Galarian Moltres deck, which was a cool one. A lot of people were caught, I think, a bit off guard by people suddenly playing Urshifu. Again, I want to say I'm not an expert in any of this stuff. Again, I'm just getting into this year, so if I say, oh, this is X, don't take it as gospel. I'm kind of like going off my own opinions here. I'm probably definitely wrong. But yeah, anybody wants to correct me, feel free to drop in the comments and say, actually, that doesn't mean this, blah, blah, blah. I need educating. I'm quite excited to have it, really. In no particular order, we've got the Bilbao, which I believe was a regional. I'm not 100%. It had SPE by it. I don't know if that means anything different. I might, again, severely uneducated. Whimsicott V-Star won that one. Apparently, Whimsicott's quite good for like taking out cards with using special energies and stuff like that. For example, Arceus relies quite heavily on Twin Turbo energies. You've got Fusion Strike energies on your Muse. You've got Rapid Strike energies on your Rapid Strike Urshifu deck. So it was a good deck. I think, if you're new to this as well, it's something I'm learning. The meta is like both constantly shifting and isn't constantly shifting. The same 3 or 4 decks, I think, are quite, you know, always going to be there. But then people will tech each time, as they say. And from my understanding, tech is like special cards you bring in to counter something specific. So for example, Manaphy is a tech you'd bring forward to help defend against bench attacks. So for example, Jolteon and Rapid Strike Urshifu both go for the bench as well as the active Pokemon. So you bring in a Manaphy and say, cool, that's my tech there. You can't do any damage to my bench. Stuff like that, you know, hard counters something that people are using. So everyone's probably running Manaphy at the moment. And eventually people will go, oh cool, no one's running Urshifu, we can change Manaphy. And as soon as that happens, Urshifu might be back. That's the pattern I'm understanding. Again, if I'm wrong, please do correct me, because I'm an idiot. Indianapolis was Arceus Bird Box, which is a really fun deck. I've played that and enjoyed it. Joinville was Arceus, Lucario V-Star, and Hoopa V. Again, that is not to jump ahead, that's currently the deck I've got put together as like my main Arceus deck. Between that and Bird Box, really good fun. I'm having great time with both of them. The next one I need to try, which is like the most basic version of it really, is Arceus Inteleon, as in the Inteleon engine. It's a weird one because by the time I'm playing, you know, on a higher competitive level, Intellion's not really going to be the card. The Inteleon engine's not really going to be the draw engine that we use anymore. I think Bibarel's going to be like the main one. But part of me still wants to try it out, you know, just see how well I get on with it. I know the guy that I quite often end up in the finals with on Tuesdays at Geek Retreat, he's running that deck, and he played really well with it. I wouldn't, again, I don't talk about this too much. At some point I should do like a day or an evening in the life of like going to Geek Retreat and like showing you guys what I do there. But yeah, quite often, this isn't a brag thing, this is me being purely paid to win by buying Arceus cards, basically. But me and a guy called Matt often end up in the finals together, and we either have a mirror match, or we have like, I play an Arceus deck, he plays an Arceus deck, we see who has the better Arceus deck. And he's a really good player. And for me, I can't remember if I said this before, but if I take a round legitimately, not just like a, you know, one fucking turn donk, if I take a round legitimately from him, that's enough for me to go, cool, I think I'm good with this deck. Not necessarily good as in good player, but this is a good deck, and if I play better, it's more likely to win. You know what I mean? And then finally, Perth, which just finished, was another Arceus Inteleon deck. I haven't seen the full deck list for that yet. It could be similar to the Arceus Inteleon deck that gets run quite a lot at the moment with Metachan V and stuff like that, but yeah, it's an interesting one. And again, Lil, we're waiting for the results, but they will be inserted here, I'm sure, in front of me, and then I'll put a caption saying, look, this idiot didn't know the results at the time of recording. Looking at the results, looking at the top 8s and stuff like that, we're seeing a lot more Arceus. Unsurprising, really. It's a ridiculously good card. There's several variants. You're seeing a lot of, like, you're seeing either Inteleon or Bibarel search engines, obviously. Suddenly been a bit of a rise in Arceus with Beedrill. Beedrill has an attack, which is, I think it's called Persist Sting. Say that quickly 5 times. Persist Sting, Persist Sting, Persist Sting, Persist Sting, Persist Sting. For 1 energy cost, if the opponent's active Pokemon has a special energy attached to them, which I've talked about before, you know, Twin Turbo and all that stuff, they are instantly knocked out. It's a very powerful card. I did see, I can't remember which one, well, it might have been Perth actually, but I think the final match was Arceus Inteleon versus Arceus Beedrill, and the Inteleon won, so I haven't seen the match. It could have been like very close, could have been bad draw for the Beedrill. But yeah, it's interesting to see the way things are going at the moment. So according to PokeStats at the moment, we still have very similar representation between Mew VMAX and Arceus Inteleon with its variants. But overall, I've got the list up on screen. Overall, Arceus is pretty much like the majority of the list right now. It's actually insane how good this card is. It's worrying in a way because, again, I haven't been playing competitively much, and I've only just started this year, but having seen people go on about like Arceus Dialga Palkia during like that era, go, yeah, the card was so broken, it's just what everyone played. It feels a little bit like Arceus is going the same way. I think a lot more people are kind of like, there's several variants that are actually interesting to play this time, whereas in previous eras, you played that card with its whatever set and that was it kind of thing. I think Arceus does lend itself a bit more to like more interesting play. Like, you know, I've played Bird Box, I've played Lucario, I played that Flygon deck, that all really good and fun decks, so, and I wouldn't say any of them were particularly bad. The only slight issue I've got at the moment is getting used to like the Bibarel search engine. I've become so used through like the start of my decks being like Jolteon and Leafeon, having the Inteleon engine going, yeah, cool, and I finally evolved to Inteleon and I can find these 2 cards, and whereas Bibarel, you don't get that. It's like, you can search and top up your hand to up to 5, and it's like, yeah, it's a bit different. I think you've got to be a bit smarter with a Bibarel deck, which I'm not quite there yet, but I'm hopefully getting there, you know? I'm still doing the Tuesday nights, I'm still enjoying them, so yeah, I think Arceus is definitely the future. I'm not going to be one of those people that, like, rotates to Mew anytime soon. I'm kind of glad I saw it in Fusion Strike, the whole Mew deck, and I went, you know what, no, I'm not being part of that. I've thrown my lot in behind Arceus, and yeah, Arceus 2022 and 2023. Damn right. No big tournaments this year, I don't think. I don't think we're even going to get to do the team challenge this year either. Geek Retreat signed up for it. I think they may have signed up on the Day of Dead, and we've had nothing since. Nobody said, yeah, we've got the registrations and blah, blah. I think that's gone too. We're certainly not going to be attending any more regionals. There's none in the UK until the next set of regionals. So, yeah, I think we're just stuck. This is very much going to be the year of learning and seeing what we can do with the cards that we have. And it's a weird one because I think me being me, I've said this before, once I find a new hobby, I'm in, and I want to get stuff done, and I want to be amazing at it, and if I'm not brilliant at it within 2 months, the hobby's shit and I don't like it. Fortunately, I haven't got to that with Pokemon. I've definitely kind of dropped off buying so many things, which is a good thing. I've been spending way too much on Pokemon cards. Got into like collecting them back in October, and then obviously competitively in February, and immediately I was like, cool, I'm going to still collect it, and I'm going to still, I'm just going to buy odd cards I need for decks, and I'm like, oh, I like this deck. How many cards do I need to buy? 40? Cool, yeah, I'll buy 40 cards, just singles that I need of. Yeah, it's mad. But I think for now, I'm good for a little bit. I think the next deck that I'm going to try at any point soon is either an Arceus Dialga, which is going to be a bit of a mad one, depending on if that works. I mean, Dialga V-Star, it's an interesting one. It's got a V-Star ability, which lets you basically reset the turn. So you finish your turn using that, then you do a new turn immediately. I think that's going to be interesting, especially if you played that with Metacham's Yoga Loop. There's some interesting synergy there where you could do 3 turns in a row before your opponent could do anything. I don't know how well it'll work. It's a 5 energy cost thing, so you're kind of looking at like Arceus being up there very quickly, and Trinity Charge on Dialga, either retreat or lose Arceus, bring Dialga up, and then start doing some BS with that. Yeah, there's some ways. It's fun. I think if you watch through these videos, you'll kind of hear me talking, and I feel like I'm slowly getting a little bit more in tune with what's going on. I'm not 100%. Like, I'm sure Murder's going to watch this and be like, oh yeah, this is why this isn't going to work, and I haven't thought about that. And that's fine, I've got to learn somehow, and Murder will take any opportunity to tell me I'm wrong. So yeah, other than that, I'm going to be waiting on the regionals to get announced for autumn and winter. I think Murder mentioned June, July is quite often when they start mentioning that stuff, so whatever the UK one is, hopefully I'll be able to get in. It's an interesting one. I think I mentioned it in another video, but the regionals got absolutely slammed because it's the only way to get championship points this year, to get to the World Championships. Once we get to September, I think it's a new season starts with rotation as well. So we should have things like the League Cups and stuff like that back where you can earn championship points. So hopefully regionals won't be so slammed. Hopefully it'll open up to more people as well because, it's currently heavily COVID limited and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see. Also, I'd like to proudly say I did not have to pause this video once to cough anything up. So I must be getting better. Sorry for it's too much information. It's staying in because you need to know how I feel today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video. It's looking like quite a long one, but I feel like I actually spoke well, concisely, gave some education, that we all learned some things, maybe? I don't know, probably not. I'm an idiot. I'm going to try and post as many sources as I remember to post, either on the video or in the description below. The main 2 websites I'd like to point you to, Pokestats, at Pokestats on Twitter, and Limitless TCG, at Limitless TCG on Twitter. That's where I get the bulk of my information from. Pokebeach.com as well is a great place for resources. They've got currently the full deck list, or full set list of Astral Radiance. So yeah, definitely worth a look. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching as always. I've been Jester. If you enjoyed this, all the social media links are in the description below. Again, if you're watching this before it happens, it's going to be a booster box break for Astral Radiance on the 28th of May. Twitch.tv/Jestertainment for that. And yeah, I'm going to try and figure out what I'm going to do regards Pokemon Go, because they've got, they're doing staggered launches of different things. So what I might do is a couple of 1-hour streams across the month and just open a few different boxes, but we'll see what happens. But until that, guys, thank you very much for watching as always. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I shall see you in the next one. See ya!